been the year many expected when the A's broke spring. Yet with the home part of the season coming to an end, there have been many positives in 2011. The green and gold found the power hitter that had been missing the last few years in Josh Willingham. A middle infield combo that looks like they have worked together for years and showed their bats are more than capable. And when a starting staff decimated by injuries tried to fall apart, new faces stepped in and showed they will have the arms to be a force for years to come. Today, the A's play the final home game of the season with a bright future ahead.
We're at the O.Co Coliseum on a gorgeous day for baseball, and it is the final home game of the 2012 season indeed. We're going to miss everybody, and we will see you all in 2012. A's got a little business to take care of. They still got a road trip, and they're going to try to salvage the final game of this series against the first-place Rangers. Rangers-A's coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hey again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Couple of right-handers today. Colby Lewis, Trevor Cahill. Ray, I think Cahill maybe pitching for confidence going into the offseason. And Colby Lewis, he has struggled lately. He's thinking about postseason.
Well, no doubt. And Trevor Cahill, he has 2 more starts, including today. We'll hear White Rabbit for the last time of this 2011 season here at the Coliseum. His walkout music. But for Trevor, there's no doubt he needs to pitch well. He needs to go in this offseason feeling good about himself. 18-game winner last year. He has struggled, and he's always talked about the confidence. The confidence really is on the other side with Colby Lewis. He's won 13 games, one of 5 pitchers with at least 13 for the Texas Rangers. Looking forward to postseason once again, as he did last year. But let's hope for Trevor Cahill to have a good outing today against a team that he normally pitches well against.
Josh Willingham, 27 home runs, 5 of those against the Rangers, so he likes hitting against Texas. He likes hitting against Colby Lewis.
Well, I think just the fact the Rangers, but Josh Willingham has had a tremendous season for the Athletics, and whether it's at the Coliseum or at Arlington Stadium, he hits Colby Lewis well. He has throughout the season, and let's hope that continues this afternoon. Colby Lewis gives up home runs, there's no doubt, but a lot of times they are solo home runs, but you really have to enjoy the season that Josh Willingham has had for the Athletics. He's driven in more runs than anybody. He's hit 27 home runs. He's played an outstanding left field as long as Hideki Matsui can play in the outfield, can DH, so a tremendous season for Josh Willingham.
Yeah, Willingham needs 8 RBIs in the final 7 games to get to 100, and we are pulling for him. For the Texas Rangers, they have a magic number of 3 to clinch the AL's Western Division title. Ricky's in the house. Hope he helps the A's get a win. They need one. Final game of the series coming up. A's, Rangers.
Tonight's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T, by 95.7 The Game, the Bay Area's only FM sports station, and by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Welcome back to the Coliseum. And as we come back, the A's take the field wearing the all-white. And it is the final home game for this 2012 or 2011 season, as the A's will host the Texas Rangers. Here's the game time weather. It's brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. 69 degrees, gorgeous day. Not a cloud in the sky, so the home schedule will end with a beautiful day at the ballpark, as it should. So Trevor Cahill begins his warm-up tosses. And the Texas Rangers are closing in on the AL West Division title. Here's the lineup for Texas. Kinsler, Andrus, Hamilton, Young, Beltre, Murphy, Cruz, Torrealba, and Gentry.
For the last time here at the Coliseum. White Rabbit on the mound. Oh, that's just a great song. Gonna miss that this offseason. Sure, Trevor Cahill will as well. Let's hope he doesn't change it just because he's won only 11 this year after winning 18 last season. But Trevor with 2 more starts and typically has pitched well against the Rangers. Let's hope that continues this afternoon in the home season finale.
Behind Trevor Cahill this afternoon, it'll be Willingham in left, Crispin center, DeJesus in right, Sogard, Pennington, Weeks, and Allen, and Kurt Suzuki does the catching. So that's your defense. Trevor Cahill has wrapped up his warm-up tosses. Ian Kinsler steps into the box, so we're just about set to go. Rangers have won the first 2 games of this series. They won on Tuesday night 7-2. They won last night 3-2.
And this afternoon should be the rubber game of the series. The A's had the game last night, unfortunately lost it in the 8th inning. I was looking forward, Grant Balfour getting through the 8th, Andrew Bailey pitched the 9th and getting a win, but it did not happen.
First pitch of the ball game from Cahill to Kinsler is a strike, so we're underway. 12:38. Time of Cahill's first throw today. And it's a quick 0-2. Kinsler hitting .249, 30 homers, 74 RBIs. Big home run last night against Balfour. It tied the game at 2 in the 8th inning. He reaches for this one, pokes it to left field, but Willingham gets back and then reaches up right at the last moment to make the catch.
Well, it's a one-handed swing, and it kind of shows you the way the ball is going to carry this afternoon to the Coliseum. A beautiful day with sunshine, warm afternoon, and that means it could be a time for Trevor Cahill to keep the ball on the ground. Look at this, just out in front, one-handed, and the ball jumped off his bat. Josh Willingham had to go back near the warning track to make the catch.
So Kinsler's retired, and in steps Elvis Andrus, and the first pitch to Andrus is outside. .279 with 5 homers, 60 RBIs. Funny, I was looking at Andrus' numbers, and then you look at Cliff Pennington's offensive numbers, very similar.
Both young players and both with great futures, and we know what Cliff Pennington can do, and Elvis Andrus has just improved to the point that, because Ron Washington said he wants him to make the routine plays, which he does now, and same for Cliff Pennington. The spectacular plays just happen. All infield coaches will tell you those things just happen instinctively.
Andrus with 35 stolen bases, Pennington with 14, a little bit of a difference there. 2-2 the count with Josh Hamilton waiting in the on-deck circle.
That's a pitch that sometimes Trevor Cahill might want to elevate, change the eyesight of a hitter, but more than anything, he wants to keep the ball down so it's a sinking action going down, not side to side like that.
Sogard playing third. Gets a nice hop and throws out Andrus, and that's out number 2.
And that's the importance of that pitch on 3-2. A good fastball count for a hitter, but Trevor Cahill got some sink on it. Watch this ball go down, and all Andrus could do is hit down on the ball. And fortunately for the A's, this went to the third baseman Sogard. That ball flattens out. It could have been a double down the left field line. Instead, he hit on top of it.
First pitch to Hamilton. Roll to the backstop.
Well, there are the numbers for Trevor Cahill. Percentage of fastballs and changeups, curveballs, sliders. So he's got a mixture. Of course, doesn't factor in that pitch. That was a changeup, but the two-seam fastball that he throws effectively. You know, all three games the Rangers have done identically in the first inning. First two batters have made out. Unfortunately today, the third one does too.
Weeks has it, and that's a nice 3-up, 3-down inning for Trevor Cahill. Bottom of the first, coming up, no score. For today, it'll start with that man, Jamile Weeks. Weeks will lead off. He'll be followed by Chris, Matsui, Willingham, DeJesus, Pennington, Allen, Suzuki, and Sogard gets the start at third.
What a great find for Ron Washington and the Texas Rangers. Colby Lewis, second season and another double figures at wins, 13 wins for the right-hander. And the thing about Colby Lewis, the A's have seen him several times this season and last year combined. And the one thing that he does very effectively, he will use his off-speed pitch in fastball counts. He will never, seems ever, give in to a hitter throwing a fastball. So good breaking ball pitcher and mixes his pitches nicely.
Rangers defense has Hamilton, Gentry, and Murphy in the outfield. Beltre, Andrus, Kinsler, Young on the infield. Yorvi Torrealba gets the start today. Lewis's first pitch to Weeks is inside. So Colby Lewis, the 32-year-old right-hander. And then comparing Lewis's season this year with last year, he was 12-13 with a 3.72 ERA. So the ERA quite a bit higher this year. A better one-loss record, so run support must come into play there. He threw 201 innings last year. This year so far 188, so the innings will be about the same. And he'll have a better record, but a higher ERA this year as compared to last year.
I think if you can get a starting staff, first of all, to stay healthy enough that they're going to be in double figures. I think in the case of the Rangers, at least 13 wins for the 5 starters. That's saying something about the rotation, and then, of course, turn it on to a solid bullpen.
Weeks rips it past Young, and that's a base hit.
On a breaking ball into the wheelhouse. So.
This is the true story brought to you by McDonald's. It was August 13th of this year. Weeks leads off the game.
Right.
First pitch, it's a triple. First by an Oakland player since Ricky Henderson did it against Detroit on June 25th, 1990. First pitch. Weeks tripled into the right field corner.
Sorry, I jumped in because the same pitch he just hit.
You know what? You can analyze
same pitch. But unfortunately, he didn't score that day. And Colby Lewis settled down and had a very good game. He will score this time. I won't, though. Not with that.
Gentry goes back and makes the catch.
If August 13th, he would have scored. Exactly.
So Chris flies out to center field for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
See Colby that time going to the slide step.
So here's Matsui. Matsui hitting .255 with 12 home runs, 71 RBIs. 2 for 8 in the series. A little bit of shift on in the infield with the shortstop Andrus playing almost behind second base. Beltre, the third baseman, shifted over to his left, maybe 4 or 5 steps. It's not a full shift, but left side of the infield moved over. We've seen Matsui shoot the ball to left field. Doesn't seem to be a problem for him. He's not afraid to go the other way.
Well, it seems throughout this series the way Hamilton has positioned himself in left field like he's a right-handed pull hitter. It's kind of the way they want to pitch him. That is not your typical outfield alignment for a power left-handed hitter. There's so many spray charts now where hitters hit baseballs and how you want to try to pitch them to hit a certain direction.
Matsui not afraid to go the other way. Strike called 1-2. Greg Gibson is calling balls and strikes today. There he is, Greg Gibson. Angel Hernandez at first, Todd Tishner at second, and the crew chief Jerry Davis is over at third.
I think those are prescription sunglasses.
No. No, they're just cool sunglasses. They're the looking good sunglasses for Greg Gibson. Swing and a miss. Matsui strikes out. So that's out number 2 here in the bottom of the first.
Well, it's an assortment of pitches we mentioned. Here's the curveball right over the top. Takes a lot off the pitch, and Matsui just unfortunately opened up. Planted the front foot, but did not have enough to make contact. So that's the velocity more than anything. The slow top curveball. That's mixing them up, especially with a slider. That's the pitch. The 26% of the pitches he throws the slider when he needs a strike and a fastball count. He can throw that pitch.
Well, the Rangers have a club option for next year on Colby Lewis, which is pretty much a lock to be picked up. He signed a 2-year contract with that club option for next year. That one's hit hard, and it's past Beltre down the left field line. Here comes Weeks, headed for third. Hamilton picks it up. He gets it in. They're waving him home. Andrus' throw to the plate is not in time. The throw was just a shade wide, and because of that, Weeks was able to get in.
It would have been much easier for him in the last time against Colby Lewis to score from third after the triple. He has to run from first to home, but the speed and aggressiveness of Mike Gallego. How about this ball just shot past the Gold Glove third baseman Adrian Beltre? No chance in for Josh Hamilton getting the ball back in. Nice relay, but the speed of Jamal Weeks. Well, a strong throw by Elvis Andrus. A wide turn by Weeks, but there's a throw towards the first base side. And diving back as Toriyama could not make the tag. And Gibson really made the call very quickly. Don't even look at the ball. It's going to be the point you're going to be asked to run anyway. And nice fadeaway slide to hit the plate and score the run.
So here's DeJesus, big curveball in first strike. So that is RBI number 93 for Willingham.
You know, as much as Jamal Weeks wants to hit home runs, there's nothing more exciting to see the speed of the youngster, especially scoring on a double down the left field line, standing at first base, showing the speed. Ricky Henderson, as you mentioned in the house, he had to be proud of Jamal Weeks, the way he was running that. Mike Gallego was going to be sending him and letting him know quickly enough. He hit the bag, took him to the wide turn, but fortunately, well, that was a bang-bang play, and Gibson again quickly made the call that Jamal got the foot in safely. You know, a lot of guys there will slide even farther out and touch the plate with their hand.
Slowly hit. Kinsler on the backhand, had to go long ways to his right, but he makes the play. Side retired. Willingham's double scores Weeks. So the A's have a 1-0 lead after one.
Here the Dodge Charger keys the game. Depart the O.co. Coliseum on a winning note. Get a win this afternoon, and don't forget, definitely the Rangers can hit. And for Bob Melvin, his second game managing with his new contract. Last night disappointed, thought he had a win in his first one. The Rangers came back because of that outstanding hitting. Trevor probably said in the dugout, thanks guys, that's all the runs I need. 1 run's all I need today. Let's hope that is the case.
A knuckleball headed to center field. Coco plays it on a hop. At least from our vantage point up here in the broadcast booth, it looked like a knuckleball.
Well, we talked about Hamilton, the outfield playing for the Rangers. Coco Chris playing Michael Young to right center where he normally hits the ball. So that means he was able to get out in front and pull a ball. See where Coco was positioned in right center and had to run hard. But Michael Young, a lot of times I think will realize where the outfield's playing him and take a pitch, in this case a little bit of an off-speed pitch, up in the zone and pull it away from the defense. He can hit. One of the best using the whole field.
It's his 6th hit in this series. Young now has 204 hits on the year. Shutdown innings for Cahill. He's right around the AL average. Beltre had a good swing. He fouled it straight back. Beltre, 28 home runs and 97 runs batted in. He's trying to get to 100 RBIs for the 3rd time in his career. This one's hit well right center field. Coco Crisp on the move, and he leaps. It's off the wall. Michael Young's going to round third. He's going to come in to score, and let's hope Coco's all right. He crashed hard into that right center field wall. I think the ball's traveling today. What do you think?
Well, there's no doubt. Again, watching Kinsler one-hand the ball to the warning track, and actually Michael Young did not even hesitate. A pitch up again, and you'll hear it say, unfortunately, too much. But Michael Young was off and running as soon as the ball was hit, and Coco came very close to making a spectacular play, which would have been a double play, considering Michael Young was already headed to third base. And fortunately, Coco has made that type of play before where he's banged into the wall, but it's padded and he's able to get up and not even have any attention given to him.
Well, Beltre ties it.
It's not what you're looking for. Get a run, and 2 batters later, it's tied.
David Murphy, the hitter. Way inside for Beltre, RBI number 98.
Well, that's how close Coco came to making the catch, and then banged in to the wall. Actually had it in his glove. He sure did. But up in the webbing. It's even more of a spectacular play. He just could not hang on down in the pocket. Camera works great on that one to show the ball in the glove of Coco. Murphy just trying to pull the ball to the right side, and he's got a couple of off-speed pitches to try to do exactly that.
And he does his job. Fair ball right over the bag. Allen steps on first. Beltre to third. So that'll bring up Cruz.
Changeup's pretty good pitch to pull, isn't it?
I would say yes. So maybe a sinker away.
Yeah, he's got a great one. Maybe even the changeup, throw it down and away, get him, try to roll over. Actually, not even roll over, swing and miss. Looking for a strikeout, but hard sinker.
Breaking ball. It was a good one, but it was just a shade outside. Cruz with 28 home runs, 84 runs batted in. He's DHing again, so he's been the DH in this entire series. Probably a good move by Ron Washington. Just let him ease his way back to full health, because they definitely want to have him if they should get to the postseason. It looks like they will.
Well, be careful here at 3-0. It's not as if Trevor Cahill's pitching around him. He just not made quality pitches, but if he throws a fastball, he might be swinging.
And he was. He popped it up. It's going to reach the seats. So 3-1.
Got away with one. That pitch was up also. Well, it was a fastball. He wanted it down, did Suzuki, but belt high, and just sort of that added velocity. Cruz fouled it back.
This one's driven to center, plenty deep. Beltre stretches out his legs right before he tags up, and he will head home, and he will score. So it's a sacrifice fly for Nelson Cruz. Some pretty good situation baseball by the Texas Rangers, and they get the lead 2-1 here in the second inning.
Batting in the 8th position.
So Cruz gets RBI number 85.
Well, when a ground ball pitcher gets a fly ball in that situation, that's when you know the pitches have elevated too much. But I think if there's anything, and we talked about the confidence, Trevor Cahill, and he has talked about that, but for him to get back to where he was, especially last year, with the fastball down in the zone, whether it's 4-seam, 2-seam, the pitch effectively down in the zone, something that he has not done most of this season.
That one's lined to center field. The base hit for Yorvi Torrealba. So that's the third hit in the inning for Texas.
Batting in the 9th position.
Well, this win right here by Cahill on the 9th of May, Ray, that put him at 6-0 with a 1.72 ERA, and we were thinking, man, he's as good as anybody right now in the American League. In the game at Texas, again on the 9th of May.
That was his 8th start with the exception of 1 start, and that was in Chicago after he signed his contract. He'd given up in all those starts 1 or fewer runs. And you talk about, and he said it looked like he's going to be one of those easy 21 seasons and match, if not do better than last season. First 8 starts there shows it. 6-0, 172. Last 24, 5-14, and that's where the scouts saying, what happened?
Yeah.
Every scout we talked to, what has happened to Trevor Cahill?
Craig Gentry is the hitter. Gentry hits it hard right to Pennington. Out at second, side retired. A couple of runs for the Rangers. We go to the bottom of the second, 2-1 Texas. Opener on September 25th against the New York Jets. Season tickets are still available, so call 1-800-RAIDERS or log on to Raiders.com to get your tickets today. Well, immediately following this game, they may start working on the field.
There's a very good chance they will, because of the game Sunday. Because Clay Wood did say that they're not going to be able to put the grass on the dirt part because it would not take hold, but the rest of the field will be, no doubt, as you said, the fences will start coming down, and
I would imagine they'll get right after.
Get right on it. We have seen it in the past.
So today's Thursday. They play on Sunday. So
be a skin infield again for this game, but after that it'll be all grass.
it's a good game though. Raiders and Jets. Two 2-1 to Pennington, who skies one toward right center where Murphy is over and then in a little bit. He's got it. Pennington is retired, and that's out number 1. A's with a 69-86 record, so they have been struggling some as of late. Their home record, with this being the final home game of the season, 42-38. One to Brandon Allen. Swing and a miss. Pitch down and in by Lewis.
You know, one thing we know with the Angels, the Mariners, and the Rangers in the division with the Athletics, you're going to see certain pitchers. You see the teams a lot of times, but you might see a pitcher possibly 6 times with the 6 different series, 3-3, home and away. And you'd think you have a pretty good idea of how you're going to face what a pitcher does, but how about that for Colby Lewis? But he has so many different pitches. He does not stay in the same pattern, very similar to C.J. Wilson last night. You can do that. Hitters really can't figure out what you're doing.
Beltre takes care of Allen.
Think about the Western Division of the American League. There's some tremendous pitchers. The Angels have him, the Mariners, and of course the Rangers. The A's right in there, so it's a powerful pitching league, or at least the division in the West of the American League.
But Ray, you look at the games that Colby Lewis has started this year against the Athletics. Now, he's pitched pretty well in each one of the starts. Did you see the run totals? I'll give you the scores of the games he has pitched against the A's. 11-2, 7-2, 7-6, 7-1, 13-4. So there's your run support. Now, that doesn't mean he has not pitched well, but he's pitched well and got a huge amount of run support. Unless he's 5-0 against the A's this year.
Which, as we have said, it makes it very easy to know if you give up 3 or 4 runs or a run in the first inning, what's the big deal?
No question.
And in this case, he did give up 1 in the first, but Rangers have tied it with 2 in their half of the second.
Good pitch there. 2-0. Off speed, 2-2. He's got their run in the first on the Willingham double that scored Jamal Weeks. Jamal Weeks will sleep good for about a week when the season's over. I'm playing a lot of baseball this season.
But he's also going to be looking forward to next spring.
Yeah,
no doubt. Come up in June when Bob Melvin, actually the series before Bob Melvin took over. Jamal Weeks was in Baltimore, made his major league debut. The next series after that bumpy plane ride from Baltimore to Chicago. Bob Melvin was there as a manager, and Jamal Weeks continued to hit the ball as well as he did in the opening series after the first 3 pitches he took.
Beltre flips it across, throws high. Young takes care of it. Tags Suzuki, side retired. That's a 3-up, 3-down inning. It's 2-1 Texas after 1 or after 2. San Jose Sharks hockey is back and better than ever on CSN California. The Sharks and Comcast Sportsnet want to celebrate by giving away 5 family 4-packs of tickets to our loyal fans. Log on to the Sharks page on csncalifornia.com to enter. Sharks will start soon. The hockey fans in the audience. 2-1, the Rangers lead. It's the top of the 4th. Cahill faces Kinsler, ANDRUS, and Hamilton. Those 3 hitters went 3 up, 3 down in the first inning. Ray, we were talking about Jemiah Weeks and how far he has come in this his rookie year. Bob Melvin mentioned something interesting to me about a week ago. He said he's trying to, I don't know if teach is the right word, but help Jemiah Weeks be able to play a full season, meaning there's going to be some bumps and bruises that you're going to have to play through. You're an everyday player, a leadoff guy, important. We need you in there. And we're not saying that Weeks is not playing through injuries, but Bob Melvin said he's learning how to play every day at the big league level a long season. And that includes, you know, getting beat up a little bit, as every player does during a long season, and learning how to play through that. Among AL rookies.
Now batting,
And first game, June 7th. So he missed 2 months of the season.
I think the 113 hits for the roughly 4 months, or at least to this point, 3.5 months, but has been remarkable. The type of season he has had, and he has had some leg issues throughout his minor league career, professional career. They seem to have been actually okay this season. He did tweak his leg in Texas swinging, actually didn't do it running, but I think just watching the 2 on the bench when he had a shot last half inning where Bob Melvin was actually talking to Jemiah Weeks on the bench, and I think that's a big part of a young player's career, when maybe it's something, just say one thing on the bench before he goes up to the plate. Maybe that's going to be something to help him.
And there may be some question marks about who's going to come back for the A's next year, but Bob Melvin knows who his leadoff hitter is going to be, and it's going to be Jemiah Weeks. But he's going to be a terrific player for a long time.
There he is down at the end of the dugout by the bat rack talking to somebody. So he's moving around. Of course, a very full bench with the September call-ups. But I think what we're seeing in Bob Melvin, that a security a little bit, knowing that he is the manager. And things can really be different the last week of the season, and of course going into the postseason or the offseason.
Got to be a big relief for Bob, knowing that not only is he going to manage next year, but it's a 3-year deal through 2014. But he also said during the press conference, well, that's great, and 3 years is terrific, but he said it's still year to year for me. I have to produce and I have to get wins.
Mike Scioscia said the same thing when they gave him about a 10-year contract, which he's going to be there for as long as he wants to be there in Anaheim. But it's the same thing. These guys, sure, they like the security, the contract, but bottom line, they know they have to be successful, and they're going to work hard to do that.
2-0 now to Michael Young. Young singled and scored in the second inning.
I think Kurt Suzuki has done quite well all season as this part of his game, and that's blocked pitches in the dirt. Turned his mitt, got his body in front of the ball, kept it in front of him. A statistic that's not really given to us on a daily basis. Now, the Angels are one of the first, if not the first, to report in their daily notes the number of times that runners went from first to third. Maybe we should incorporate a catcher's block segment of the notes.
Michael Young slaps to right field. That's another hit for him. Michael Young is 7 for 11 in this series.
2 quick outs, 2 runners on base now, and Trevor Cahill out of the stretch, off speed again, location up, not not where you need to pitch or have to pitch in the big leagues to have success. I mean, you've got to get the ball down, and again, something that he has not been able to do much this season.
Six career 200-hit seasons for Michael Young. A's have seen plenty of those hits. He's always been tough on the Athletics. Of course, probably all the teams in the AL West say that about him. First pitch to Beltre is a bit inside. Beltre with a RBI double off the wall in right center field. Up and in. 2-0.
That was unintentional, but not a bad idea. Certain hitters get very comfortable at the plate as long as they don't have their feet moved back a little bit, showing the inside part of the plate. They get real comfortable, which means they can handle the pitches away or inside.
He goes to the outside corner with a changeup and gets the strike. So pretty good pitching by Trevor Cahill. Is a fair ball. Sogard grabs it, steps on third, side retired. Rangers strand a pair, bottom of the third coming up. 2-1 Texas.
By securing an A's ticket plan, you're guaranteed to lock in a discounted rate on the best seats for all the biggest games. Next year's schedule is highlighted by the annual Bay Bridge Series, as well as 2 visits each from the Yankees and Red Sox. Lock in and save today. For more information, call 510-638-4627 or visit oaklandathletics.com/2012. And I talk about the Yankees and the Red Sox coming in, the Bay Bridge, the Giants, but how about the Rangers, the Angels, and the Mariners?
Sure.
3 times they come in throughout the season. Of course, those are the teams. The A's will play 57 times, the bottom schedule within the division. So a lot of baseball with some big teams throughout the season.
And now some rumors flying around about maybe the A's starting the season in Japan, which I don't know anything about. I don't know that you do either, but that has been in the paper this week about the possibility of the A's and the Seattle Mariners starting the 2012 season in Japan. So we'll see if that indeed happens.
And the A's do open the season against the Mariners. That is the schedule, 6th, 7th, and 8th. First weekend of the 2012 schedule will be at least on schedule right now to be here at the Coliseum.
Weeks singled and scored in the first inning. Beltre in on the grass at third. Pitch is high. 3-0 to Jamal Weeks. One-day game in the American League. The Minnesota Twins beat the Seattle Mariners 3-2 in extra innings. Game in Minneapolis. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Weeks. Twins celebrated big time because that broke an 11-game losing streak.
This time of the year, they're usually celebrating a division championship, but definitely not this season. As the Tigers have already done that, they did it here last Friday.
Well, the Twins are trying to avoid losing 100 games. They've lost 95. Nobody else is in jeopardy of losing 100. The Houston Astros have already done that. They have lost 102.
Think they're real happy about changing leagues, possibly.
Sounds like that could happen as well.
One game this homestand. Jamal Weeks at second. Coco leading off, but Coco does a good job of trying to distract the catcher if Jamal Weeks takes off. It's amazing at times when a left-handed hitter, of course, looking at the pitcher, I guess peripherally, he can see the runner take off, and once that happens, Coco usually puts his bat down and kind of faking a bunt, trying to keep the catcher back at his position as long as possible. Yeah, I thought Dwayne Murphy was the best with Ricky Henderson still in the bags that he did throughout his career. Right-handed hitter's easy because you can see him go, but lefty, it's a little bit different, but it also makes it a little bit more difficult on the catcher to be able to see the runner take off. Sometimes the hitter will block him. At that point, relying on the bench to yell, there he goes.
Crisp hit a fly ball to center field in the first inning. Hit hard to Kinsler. Flips to Andrus, and that's a double play. Very close play at first. So a 4-6-3 double play, and that will do it for the A's in the bottom of the third. Here's our AT&T trivia question. What player holds the Oakland A's rookie record for most triples with 10, and it was in 1987? rookie in '87. Weeks with 8, so he's got a couple to get yet. That's not just rookies, that's in all of the American League. Right now, the A's trailing the Rangers 2-1 in the top of the 4th inning. Murphy, Cruz, and Torrealba. Murphy grounded out in the 2nd inning, but he helped get a run home as he batted with a runner at 2nd, nobody out. He moved Beltre over to 3rd, and then Cruz had a sacrifice fly. This time Murphy hits it again to the right side, and he will be retired. So Nelson Cruz steps in. Cruz had that sac fly in the 2nd to pick up his 85th RBI.
17, Nelson Cruz.
So no other games in the American League except that Twins victory over Seattle. The rest are night games. White Sox at Cleveland, Baltimore at Detroit. Sogard on the backhand, and that's out number 2. The Angels will be in Toronto, and that's the night game in Toronto, so they will be late arriving back home. The A's will be waiting for them.
That's too bad. You know, there's 2 things bad about that. Number 1, you're in September in this unbalanced schedule. You're playing in the Eastern Division, and number 2, you're playing a night game on a getaway to fly across the country to play the next night, even though they pick up 3 hours. But I'm sure that's why they're doing it. And I think also it's the Blue Jays' final home game. Is that it? So they're playing a night game. But still, that makes it tough. But I think more than anything, just to be in the eastern part of the schedule, Eastern Division.
The Rays will play the Yankees one more time. That series was originally a 2-game set, turned into a 4-game series because of a couple of makeup games. So the Rays at the Yankees, and that will be tonight. That one's lined toward right to Jesus. Makes a nice catch, side retired. So Trevor Cahill, 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the 4th, coming up. When it's real. Bottom of the 4th inning on a beautiful day in the Bay Area. The Rangers leading the A's 2-1. First pitch to Hideki Matsui, big overhand curve in first strike. Matsui, Willingham, and DeJesus. Matsui struck out swinging in the first inning. So that American League wild cards, we were talking about that Rays-Yankees game. The Yankees are going for the sweep after think in the doubleheader yesterday, Rays need a win bad. And today the Rays tonight will send Matt Moore, who's their #1 pitching prospect. He will be making his first major league start, and it'll be at Yankee Stadium against Bartolo Colon. So that is the Rays situation today.
Yankees might still be celebrating.
They had a double dose yesterday.
So they double celebrated after winning the doubleheader.
It's a good day for the Yankees yesterday.
I think you had it on your monitor there last night where they were celebrating, and
keep on celebrating.
I thought they just did that in the World Series. But the Yankees had to be very happy to win the division, and doing it last night or yesterday in the doubleheader.
2.5 for the Angels, 2.5 for the Rays. Swing and a miss. So Matsui strikes out for the second time. Third strikeout for Colby Lewis.
A hard slider down and in, actually out of the strike zone, but looked good to Matsui. Swung over the pitch and heading back to dugout.
So that'll bring up Willingham.
Similar to what Colby Lewis did in the game we referenced, where Jamal Weeks led off with a triple, did nothing, gave up nothing, and done the same thing this afternoon. He did score in the first, but since then just a walk.
Willingham had the RBI double in the first. The Red Sox are off today. So the Red Sox will not play. The Rays at New York, Angels at Toronto. For Boston, their remainder of their schedule will be 3 games at New York, 3 games at Baltimore. For the Rays, they will be home to the Jays for 3 and the Yankees for 3. So Boston will be on the road to wrap up the season. The Rays will be home.
How many clubs do you think in the last month, or maybe even going back to the beginning of the season, saying, okay, we have Baltimore in September.
I know.
That'd be a good schedule. And now they've changed their mind where they don't want to play the Orioles because Buck Showalter has them playing and playing hard right down to the end. Did it last year when Buck took over, and they finished very strongly, and they're taking the games against the competitors seriously and playing well.
Took 3 out of 4 from Boston. Red Sox are 5-16 in the month of September. They've lost 5 of their last 6.
It's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe. Now, the main culprit, for lack of a better word, their September team ERA is the worst in the majors, just a shade under 6.
But you know, they've got, they're playing those games at home too. You know, a lot of the schedule at home, but I mean that is unheard of to think that they're, you know, in some cases the ERA is 6, but they're not scoring more than 6.
No.
So
6 is a lot to score.
Well, I know it is, but figure if the one team that could do it, the Red Sox would be the team. But you know, you figure the games at home that they're favorites with a home field advantage, but it's just
at some point you got to get people out. I don't care how good your offense is, but that is the struggle right now for the Red Sox, as they are really having a tough month of September. Breaking ball, Willingham knew it. Strike 3 call. So that's the 4th strikeout for Lewis. And here's our AT&T trivia answer. What player holds the Oakland A's rookie record for most triples with 10, and it happened in 1987? Luis Polonia.
He's still playing somewhere.
and enjoying himself.
Absolutely.
Having fun playing. He was fast. First pitch to DeJesus is outside. In that Angels-Jays game tonight, it'd be Irvin Santana, 11-12 against Henderson Alvarez. And that will wrap up the 10-game trip for the Angels. So, as Ray said, a late trip home tonight, but they got to be glad to get home and finish the season with 6 at home. And kind of a strange East Coast trip late in the year for the Angels. 10-game. They're 5-4 so far on that 10-game trip. They'll try to come home 6-4 tonight.
Tigers might have been thinking of the same thing when they were out here for a 4-game series earlier in the homestand, middle of the homestand actually. The Angels will have their final 6 in Anaheim. 3 against the A's starting tomorrow night, and then the Rangers in for 3 on Monday.
Two and 2 to DeJesus, who grounded out to second in the first inning. Lewis trying to strike out the side. Lewis has retired 8 of the last 9. The only base runner during that stretch was a 1-out walk to Jamal Weeks last inning. Swing and a miss. Good hard breaking ball. DeJesus swings and misses. So indeed, Colby Lewis strikes out the side in the 4th inning.
League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins September the 30th with the Division Series on TBS. That is a week from Friday. Actually, a week from tomorrow. Since today is Thursday.
3 teams in: Yankees, Tigers, Phillies. So 5 spots. Want the magic numbers? I got them for you. I know you like to keep me updated. Rangers are 3. The Milwaukee Brewers are 3. Arizona Diamondbacks are 2. So the Diamondbacks are the closest.
The Diamondbacks are off tonight. The Giants are playing, and then they play each other the weekend starting tomorrow.
Sogard with a nice play, and he throws out the speedy Craig Gentry. So that's out number 1. So we talked about the American League wild card. The National League wild card is
now batting number 5.
Somewhat up in the air, as the Atlanta Braves are kind of doing the same thing the Boston Red Sox are doing, struggling. And the Braves have seen their lead in the wild card down to a 1.5 games over St. Louis. The Giants are 3.5 back, so they're mathematically still alive, but the Cardinals are marching, and the Braves are scuffling.
Well, the Cardinals are playing today, leading 2-0, so that could take it to a game.
And Atlanta is off today, so there you go. And you're right, it's St. Louis 2, the Mets nothing in the third inning. That game being played in St. Louis. Sogard again. So that's out number 2. So we keep a closer eye on the National League, or the American League, where we can't quite figure out how the Red Sox are struggling. I know people from the National League can't figure out how the Braves are struggling.
Well,
that's a good team.
In St. Louis, those Cardinal fans, and just recently, as a matter of fact, it came out that maybe Albert Pujols' season would be ending the regular season. But, you know, figured the postseason was out of the question at the time. But they have crept back into the race, especially the wild card, and hitting. Still in foul territory in the batter's box. But with Albert Pujols pending free agency, and he has said all season he's going to wait and talk at the end of the season, but you know, he's playing hard. He always does, but even more so now with his team fighting for the wild card berth.
Well, that matchup in St. Louis today is Capuano for the Mets and Westbrook for the Cardinals. Cardinals have won 4 in a row. Weeks can't get it, and that's a base hit for Elvis Andrus.
Trevor would just like to have a 1-2-3 inning. He had it in the first, he had it in the fourth, but the 2 innings in between, especially the third, got the first 2 outs and then gave up a couple of hits. But again, a pitch, kind of a side-to-side rotational for Trevor Cahill, and as a result does not get the sink on the ball. Left it up, and Andrus, good job of hitting to the opposite field.
So that'll bring up Hamilton. Pitch out, runner going, throw to second base is in time. Elvis Andrus is thrown out by Kurt Suzuki, and that's how the 5th inning comes to an end. Rangers with a 2-1 lead, bottom of the 5th coming up.
Kurt Suzuki out, and a nice throw to second base right on the bag, and Kurt had to reach for it a little bit, but the throw up in the zone where he could just handle it, make the turn, and a strong throw accurately to second base to get Elvis Andrus.
Pennington to lead it off. First pitch is a strike. Close play, but I think the A's got it.
Yeah, well, bang, bang, and throw is up a little bit, but Andrus thought he got his hand in safely.
Pennington hit a fly ball to right field in the second inning. He'll be followed by Allen and Suzuki. Breaking ball by Lewis. He has the ability to get that big overhand curve in for a strike, which not an easy pitch to throw for a strike.
And for him, though, really all 4 pitches are pitches that he can throw anytime he wants to and throw strikes. He kind of pitches up in the zone. That time intentionally, but a little bit too high. And when he gives up the home run, it's usually a mistake that's left up.
And the fastball at 89 miles an hour, and Pennington strikes out. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Colby Lewis. Here's our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Ernie from the 209 asks, why is beer not sold in the seats in California ballparks, but in other parks it is? Well, according to David Renetti, who's the vice president of stadium operations, it's an ABC, that's Alcoholic Beverage Control, California rule that went into effect in the mid-'80s. No sporting arena or stadium can sell beer by a roaming vendor in California.
So he's a roamer? He's roaming?
He's roaming, but he's not selling beer. So we appreciate David Renetti helping us out.
Didn't know that.
Me neither.
I know a lot of times here where alcoholic beverage sales cease in the 7th inning, but I was not aware of that. So, well, you learn something every day. Come to the park and, you know, either see or learn something every day that you didn't know.
Alcoholic Beverage Control, ABC. So if you need a cold one, you head to the concourse. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, you get your exercise before you get the cold one. That's pretty good, especially if you're down low and you have to walk up the stairs. So as the game progresses, sometimes towards the end you see people leaving. You're thinking, well, maybe they've seen enough, they're going to go home, but maybe they're just going to the concessions.
Yeah. Moving around. 3-1 the count to Brandon Allen, who bounced out to Beltre. He's back in the 2nd inning.
Backdoor cut fastball.
3-1.
Yeah. Struck out Sogard in the 3rd, and then the double play, and striking out 4 consecutive batters, and 3-2 on Brandon Allen. There's the hard slider again.
Down and in, and Allen swings and misses. 5 consecutive strikeouts by Colby Lewis.
Well, the slider down and in is very similar to that thrown by Lewis to Hideki Matsui to start this string of 5 consecutive strikeouts.
Number 8, Kurt Suzuki.
I think the A's hitters 3-2 put the bat on the shoulder, don't swing, because those are not strikes.
Yeah.
They look like it to the hitter.
So you think about that at bat. That's pretty good pitching. So a 3-1 breaking ball for a called strike, and then you just go off the plate a little bit with a harder breaking ball, and you get the swing and miss.
The cutter a little bit more control, but it's not a true 4-seam fastball. So the cut fastball got him strike called, and then the slider swung out of the strike zone. Toriyama just had cobwebs shaking a little bit. Direct hit on the mask on a foul ball. And this is what it sounds like, folks.
That was a direct hit.
Yeah. The eyeball's back in socket.
One and 2 to Suzuki, who bounced out to Beltre in the 2nd inning.
See, Greg Gibson's wearing the hockey style mask. That's a different sound, and we hope that Greg Gibson doesn't give us a chance to hear the sound, but he's able to wear his sunglasses because of the hockey style mask. There's enough room, of course, the wraparounds, but see the difference in the mask. I prefer the one that Toriyama's wearing. More padding. Visually, probably the hockey style mask allows you to see better, but still the bars and the mask for the catcher. But I like the padding all around the face, chin, the head, forehead. Of course, the helmet also helps. Still not a very good sound regardless of the mask it is.
Toriyama, I think, needs a little time. And as normal common courtesy, the umpire will give it to him. Suzuki just got a piece of it to stay alive.
Yeah, you combine the warmth. I mean, it's warm in the sun. We're comfortable up here, but it's a beautiful day. There's no clouds, so it's sun's beating down. So you combine that with the catching gear, and then you take one in the head off the mask, and solidly as that one was, you're going to feel it.
Another 2-2 to Suzuki. Pokes that one to shallow right field. Murphy comes in. And Colby Lewis has retired 7 in a row. And we are headed to the 6th inning. Still 2-1 Texas. I'll go deep with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30, and it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Lots of baseball highlights, A's, Rangers, Giants, Dodgers, and reports from the Raiders and the 49ers. Scott Reese and Henry Wolford will be at the anchor desk. That's tonight, 10:30 on CSN Bay Area. Here at the O.co Coliseum, the Rangers trying to lower their magic number to 2. And they lead 2-1 over the A's. Hamilton, Young, and Beltre. Hamilton was at bat when Andrus got thrown out trying to steal. No walks, no strikeouts for Cahill.
Like Brandon McCarthy last night, 79 pitches through 7 innings, and Trevor, his pitch count is good. When you don't strike out, when you don't walk a lot of batters, those innings go a little bit quicker.
Tough son, Willingham, and he cannot quite hang with it. Did the best he could. It was right in the sun, you could tell. So Hamilton ends up at second.
Well, you're right. He just fought it, and we all know left field this time of the year. Glove, shading, looking, didn't find it. Never really came out of the sun. He is looking at, just hoping, and even right there he reached and missed, hit him in the face. That's too bad.
This may sound strange, Ray, but you can never fault the guy when they lose ball in the sun.
Not.
I mean, Pennington has it on one hop. He'll throw, and Allen keeps his foot on the bag. 1 out. I mean, it's got to be a horrible feeling, because you know if you don't catch it, the guy's going to be at second base. He stayed with it as best he could.
Cliff Pennington had Josh Hamilton and took a little bit extra time, and as Hamilton moved back to the bag, Cliff Pennington had to get out of the line of sight to first base, and that's what took so much time, and then threw it hard. Fortunately, Brandon Allen, the long stretch, able to keep his foot on the bag. But had he thrown, he'd hit Hamilton in the back. Well, that's the sun, and that's it, folks. That's bright sunshine, and you picture a white baseball, even though it's been rubbed up. It's still, if it stays in that shot, there's no way an outfielder can find the baseball. He'll use the glove. He has his sunglasses, and he's trying to shade his eyes and just hoping the ball comes out before it comes down, and in this case, hits the ground.
He almost caught it. The ball landed right next to him. Let's hope Cahill can get out of the jam and it doesn't cost him. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Beltre.
Well, if the A's were like a lot of teams around baseball, having maybe their home schedule finale at nighttime, they wouldn't have to worry about that. The A's really an afternoon game. Typically, the season ends on an afternoon, a Sunday afternoon, but it'll be Wednesday night in Seattle for the A's. Their final home game's an afternoon game.
Sogard handles this one. Throws across. Beltre's out. 2 outs.
And considering the Rangers are going back to their home park or their home city, the 2-hour time change, they'll appreciate the fact they're going to be getting in a reasonable hour. I know Mickey Borbito always likes to consider that. The A's will be going to Anaheim, but from the Rangers standpoint, a longer trip to go home. This is a night game. They might arrive about 5 or 6 in the morning. The A's are usually very good about accommodating teams on getaway day with a day game.
Did you call the Mariners yet? Have you talked to them about next Wednesday?
I'm sure Mickey has, but I don't think anything's going to be done. Now, when the Mariners were in town, I think I might have mentioned, I think they can only play 5 day games because of the traffic problems in the, what do they call Sodo.
South of downtown.
There you go. And
well, they could have made Wednesday one of those 5.
I agree. You know, we look at the schedule. We look at the final game.
Come on.
I agree. So do a lot of people. Since that is the Mariners' season finale, let's hope they sell out by having that. They won't.
Otherwise,
fan appreciation Wednesday night game.
There's time. It's time to slide that baby up to 12:05 first pitch, huh?
Played at 11 o'clock. They're worried about the traffic in South downtown.
2-2 to Murphy. Hamilton at second. And the 2-2 pitch is bounced into right field, a base hit. Here comes to Jesus. Hamilton digging for the plate. The throw is high. Hamilton scores, and Murphy comes through with a 2-out RBI hit. And the Rangers lead 3-1. So Murphy gets his 44th RBI.
You don't want to see the location of this changeup. Look at that. That floated belt high, and well, you're saying here it is, hit it, and David knows exactly what he did. He had no chance to really get a Hamilton, overthrew the cutoff man, and Murphy just kept going into second base.
So here's Cruz. Goes after the first pitch, rolls it foul. Cruz with a sacrifice fly and a ground out to third. See who needs a vendor.
Get the air mark bag and fill it up.
Blocked by Suzuki, keeps Murphy at second base.
Kurt Suzuki has a pitch that those are the ideal type of blocks that just get down to your knees, put the mitt on the ground, and keep it in front of you.
Close pitch. So the count even at 2-2. This will be pitch number 80 for Trevor Cahill. Another tough one right in that sun. Willingham, and Coco calls him off.
That's
Coco
smart.
makes the catch. So Coco must have had a better sight on it. Rangers get a run. It's 3-1 headed to the bottom of the 6th. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. So the great A's fans enjoying the final home game of this 2011 season. Lots of sunshine and a good start for Colby Lewis. Just 2 hits, 7 strikeouts. He struck out the side in the 4th. He struck out 2 more in the 5th.
Don't mention lots of sunshine to Josh Willingham.
That's true. Michael Young grabs the line drive off the bat of Sogar. Yeah, I think Josh is probably wishing that it was a nice overcast day.
Well, since the Josh Willingham double, Colby Lewis has faced the minimum. And he has mowed them down, and that's the unfortunate thing for the A's offense on this beautiful sunny day.
Top of the order in Weeks. All right, we saw Willingham miss that fly ball, and then the final out was a fly ball as well. And I think just the simple angle of kind of where Coco's coming from helps him, and the sun probably isn't as bad for Coco. If you just look the way he's coming.
It's always better for the center fielder because we've seen where they do have a better angle. They're not looking directly into the sun, and Coco is smart to be able to go over and help his teammate in left field. Of course, unfortunately, with the one that Josh Hamilton hit, he had no choice. He had to be the only one to do it. Coco could not get over that quickly.
Well, you've been involved in games here since 1973. The sun hasn't changed. No, the field hasn't changed. So you've seen some tough balls out there in left field.
He got it.
I think he did. Weeks deep to right. That baby is gone. Number 1 for Jemile Weeks.
And I think the boy's going to give Masada treatment. And he is taking his time, and he hopes that his brother Ricky's watching him. That's great.
And it was not a cheapie.
No, it wasn't.
He hit that ball extremely well. Well, it makes it a 3-2 game. So big moment for Jemiah Weeks. 22nd of September, his first major league home run. All right, start the negotiations.
It's getaway day. It's getaway day. Steve Vucinich, the best negotiator, and there's that gentleman saying, let's see, can you get me Hideki Matsui signed bat in Jersey? I mean,
I want to meet Reggie and Ricky and Eck.
But this is the same breaking pitch that a lot of guys have been swinging and missing, but it stayed up. And take your time, young man. As he knew it was gone, got to swing. I bet he's watched his brother Ricky a few times hit the long ball. But there was no doubt this ball lower deck several rows deep, and it's retrieved. And I'm sure we'll find a way to get it. I don't know if Dominic's here to authenticate it. There will not be a logo or any sort of a hologram on the baseball, so just have to hope that the ball is retrieved and taken back down to the clubhouse.
35 home runs allowed, most in the American League, second most in baseball for Colby Lewis. This one's toward left. Long run for Hamilton, who's toward the corner. He makes the catch. Side retired. Big moment for Jemiah Weeks. We get to see it as he hits his first career home run, and it was a long one to right field. Camp Railroads, whether it's the steam train through the Redwood Forest or the beach train to Santa Cruz, Roaring Camp is the ride of a lifetime. RoaringCamp.com. The Port of Oakland, generally a pretty busy place, looks quiet today. 3-2, the Rangers lead the A's. It's the top of the seventh inning. Jemiah Weeks with his first major league home run. So we looked it up, Ray. Ricky Weeks has 108 career home runs, including 19 this year. So Jemiah's got
a little bit older.
That's right.
Older and bigger, stronger, and home run hitter. So there's a big difference. Let's see. Brewers are off today. Yep.
Yeah, they are.
So Ricky probably on MLB.com. Traveling. Follow the A's on MLB.tv.
Getting ready to celebrate.
On your favorite devices, and I'm sure my brother Ricky's got one of those favorite devices somewhere.
Torrealba rips one to left off the wall. He's going to have to hustle to second. The throw is in time. Torrealba wants to argue with Todd Tishner. Weeks put the tag on. A nice play by Willingham, and Torrealba is out.
Well, it's tough to argue. He was not running to first base and then tried to stretch a single into a double on a hanging slider. I think he may have thought it had gone out, but Josh Willingham played the carom perfectly and a very strong throw. Jamal Wicks with a quick tag and got him on the shin. Maybe the foot's on the bag, and that's why he was complaining, but still, if he's running hard to first, it's a no doubt double. And just the bang bang, he probably thought his foot was on the bag. It's more frustration because knowing he didn't run to first. Ultra Ball's going to show the foot on the bag, and the tag's going to be on the shin. So you see Jamal was out at home.
Wow.
And he was safe at second.
He's got to take advantage of some of these breaks.
Great throw by Josh Willingham. This is home park, so playing the carom off the wall, it's something that just naturally, with the way the wall angles out to the 367 from the 330. And Josh played it perfectly. You can see the jagged edge, but run back too far, you overrun the baseball as it comes back. Josh played it perfectly.
Pitch to Craig Gentry, and it's 1-2. Gentry has grounded out twice. Once to short, once to third. Swing and a miss. He chased the pitch way out of the strike zone, and that is the first strikeout for Cahill. 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Well, it's where after the game is as important as the game itself. Immediately following every Raiders game this season, change the channel to Comcast Sportsnet California or Comcast Sportsnet Plus for Raiders post-game live, hosted by Jim Cosmore, Bill Romanowski, Tony Bruno, Kate Longworth, insider Paul Gutierrez. Those two will be live in the locker room in Oakland. Complete Raiders coverage every night on Sportsnet Central. That is Sunday after the game, the Raiders and the Jets. Game will be right here at the Coliseum. Kinsler shoots on the right field for a base hit. That is the 9th hit for Texas. First for Kinsler.
Now the bullpen's working quickly, but I think Bob Melvin will see what his call is, but
Now batting.
not 88 pitches. Another pitch up in the zone, hit to the opposite field by Andrus. But I think Bob Melvin would like to see Trevor Cahill with 2 outs to start the inning, get him through this 7th, and try to get him a win by having his club score in the bottom half. Let's say Josh Hamilton would face Craig Breslow if that's the case. It's like Kerrigan's going to sit down.
Keep an eye on Kinsler. 26 steals. He's only been thrown out twice, and this is a legitimate time to try to steal a bag.
Well, he needs 4 and 7 to get to 30-30. He's got a 30th home run last night. I'd see another pitch out.
25 consecutive steals. Spins Andrus out of the way. 2-0 the count. There goes Kinsler. Pitches a strike. Throw to second base is late, and Kinsler gets the stolen base. That is number 27.
Well, they got a walking, running lead. And Trevor with a higher leg kick, but at least got the strike. And good backup by Cliff Pennington to keep the ball from going into center field. Saved an error for the catcher. That's always nice to see that happen, especially since Kurt had to rush his throw.
Off the end of the bat to even the count at 2-2. Andrus is 1 for 3 with a single and 2 groundouts. This will be pitch number 94 for Cahill. Outfield shaded toward right. DeJesus shallow in right field. And the pitch is high. He went with a changeup on 3-2 and it stayed up. And that's going to be it for Cahill. So his first walk is the final hitter that he will face. And indeed, it will be Breslow to face Hamilton. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Cahill departs. Six and 2/3 innings. So the matchup is Breslow and Hamilton. 10 hits, 3 runs so far. 1-1 on the walks and strikeouts.
Kinsler dancing at second again as he did Josh Hamilton last night.
Breslow last pitched on Sunday against the Tigers. Gave up a run and a couple of hits in 1 inning of work.
65th appearance, and of course, once again, the workload. Craig Breslow, which he enjoys tremendously, likes to be in as much as possible. I think he brought up a good point that, remember last year, he was worked a lot, and they told him to take it easy in spring training. Kind of threw off his work getting ready for the season, and he said this year will not be the case. He's going to continue working out in the offseason, getting ready to go first day of spring training, and be ready to come out of the gate quickly.
0-2 to Hamilton.
Remember, it was Bailey, Breslow, and Wirtz all really taking it easy during spring training. Of course, Bailey coming off surgery. It's a big batter for Breslow, and to get the A's back in the dugout trailing by 1. Looks like it's going to be Darren Oliver, the veteran, coming in the 7th.
Sliders outside. Hamilton is 2 for 3 in the game, a single, a double, and he has scored a run. that one to stay alive.
And that's one thing Josh Hamilton does so well. He fouls off the tough pitches, especially lefty on lefty. He turned on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball inside part of the plate, one-handed line drive home run to right field. That was against Brad Balfour in the 8th inning.
I think it was a ball.
Okay. Until it landed in the seats and broke a seat.
And that was to right center off the end of the bat. DeJesus comes in. He's got it. Side retired. A couple of runners stranded. 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum. 3-2 Texas.
First pitch.
10th inning off Darren Oliver, and it was a walk-off, folks. A's win it 5-4, and it was Matsui's first home run at the O.co in an A's uniform. So that was a fun day. It was helped the A's take 3 out of 4 from the Rangers in that early season series. So the walk-off by Hideki Matsui. Colby Lewis back to work. He'll face Willingham, DeJesus, and Pennington. Lewis with 87 pitches so far.
Maybe Oliver, I thought he would be coming in, but he is just there and a batter to batter, since DeJesus is the next batter the lefty, and then Pennington a switch hitter, and then Allen the lefty.
One walk, 7 strikeouts for Colby Lewis. That game going on in St. Louis. The Cardinals still leading the Mets 2-0 in the 5th inning. Cardinals trying to shave a half game off the Braves' lead in the National League wild card race. Now 1-2.
A pretty good guess that it is a sea of red in St. Louis today. Cardinals fans, of course, the only team in town with regard to baseball, and they support the Cardinals.
Michael Young, foul territory is under it. Willingham's retired. I don't know if you saw it, Ray, but the Cardinals, who in the offseason signed Lance Berkman as a free agent, and Berkman's had a terrific year, 31 home runs. Well, they gave him a 1-year extension today, 1 year, $12 million. So Berkman will stay in St. Louis for another year.
Actually, another player that the A's tried hard to sign.
Yeah, he's having a great year, 31 and 91 homers and RBIs.
Yeah.
So Berkman has proven he can still hit and that he can still play a position. Played right field for them.
Exactly, because if he had come here, he would have been DHing, or at least been able to DH in the American League. But the National League, when they signed him, they were a little bit concerned about his defensive ability. But he has proven that getting in shape, healthy, that he can play both sides. So congratulations to Lance Burton.
2-0 to DeJesus, who has grounded out and struck out. That one called the strike down around the knees. Guys are having a tough time laying off that pitch right there. That big breaking ball that's down and into the left-handed hitters. It's really not a pitch you can do a whole lot with.
Coming in hard, and that's the curveball that stayed in, but also the hard slider in. It's just that Jemile Weeks got one of the sliders that didn't break, stayed up, and he hit it for his first major league home run. Well, the next pitch, that one's outside, so the next pitch will be probably the slider inside if he stays true to form. A lot of strikeouts with the slider down and in. Just watch Toriyama. If he moves in, it's probably going to be the breaking pitch.
And it was, and this one was a little more hittable, and DeJesus lines it foul.
Well, the position of Kobe Lewis, if he's going to throw it, he throws it for a ball and hopes to get a strike. But you definitely don't want to try to throw it in the strike zone and make a mistake with it, because it's not a hard thrown pitch.
Very close, but outside, so a one-out walk. A's Baseball and Comcast Sports in California is brought to you by Cash Creek's Money Tree. Win $500 cash every hour from noon until 11 p.m. Visit cashcreek.com for details. Second walk issued by Colby Lewis. So here's Pennington. The A's get the tying run on the bases. It's DeJesus at first. Somebody made a nice play, because it's a good ovation by the crowd.
Young kid in the front row on the plaza level. But the A's dug out.
There he is.
Sitting in the front row, got his glove, and that guy's going to give him his contract right now. Here's Rex Barney when you need him. The late, great public address announcer for the Orioles. Rex Barney, give that fan a contract. He'd come right on the PA system. Maybe Dick Callahan, who's done a great job for the A's as a PA announcer, and a lot of enthusiasm this year. Maybe he'll do the same in the future.
This one's hit to right center, hit pretty well. Gentry near the wall, and he can't get it. DeJesus to third. He will stop there, and the A's are in business. Second and third, one out.
Well, Ron Washington probably will be coming out of the dugout, as Brandon Allen's a scheduled hitter, the lefty, and he's got a lefty warming up. But great Gentry shading Cliff Pennington on left center. A long run to right center, kind of shading his eyes. But Pennington, with this afternoon game, the ball carrying very well, hit it well. A little bit too high. Gentry, did he have it in his glove? Barely. Nope, never did. I think the sun got him. But David DeJesus, with the ball close enough to Gentry and his speed, he could not fully run. Thinking about it, then at that point, he could only get the next 90 feet to third base and had to be held up.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
home of the most live sports. And by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
Kobe Lewis leaves with the lead, but the A's have second and third, one out. Right at 100 pitches for Lewis. So Lewis is in that spot where he can win it, he can lose it, he can get a no decision.
Last night, C.J. Wilson left on the trailing end as the veteran comes in. Darren Oliver, and just keeps hanging around. And right now, he's not going to face Brandon Allen, lefty, the infield back for Scott Sizemore. Put the ball in play. The A's tied.
Okay, so you may say, well, why wouldn't you play the infield in?
Give up two. The ball gets through. It's the seventh inning. It's not the ninth inning or the eighth inning, and
you got a good offense, right?
Yeah, well, that's goes without saying. I didn't even want to mention that. We just hope that the A's bullpen, if the A's can tie or take the lead or really do both. Grant Balfour again is loosening up. A's would like to see it happen right here.
On the ground to Kinsler. That's going to get the run home. So coming into score is De Jesus. We're tied at 3. Now there are 2 outs. So Kobe Lewis will not get a win today.
And Kobe Lewis, who does not walk a lot, walks 2 today, and the 1 in this inning with 1 out scores. So nice job by Scott Sizemore, just putting the ball in play. And that's all you want, especially with the infield back. And 1 batter appearance for Oliver, and that's it.
So Kurt Suzuki's the Rangers bullpen when we come back. Brought to you by the Oakland Raiders. Catch all the great games, including the home opener on September 25th against the New York Jets. Season tickets are still available, so call 1-800-RAIDERS or log on to Raiders.com to get your tickets today. So Jets, Raiders at the Coliseum. Raiders will be trying to bounce back from a very difficult loss at Buffalo on Sunday. So they'll try to beat the Jets.
Think Uhara could throw a wild pitch?
Yes.
Or better yet, Kurt Suzuki line a ball in the gap in left center. Jeffrey shading Kurt Suzuki's the right center for some reason.
Side to Suzuki, who is 0 for 2. Koji Wahara 2-3 with a 2.47 ERA. 81 strikeouts in 62 innings and just 9 walks. So those are very good numbers. That fastball a strike up around the letters. 1-1.
You mentioned Adams last night. Of course, O'Hara, a couple of guys acquired by the Rangers Orioles in San Diego, they wanted to improve their bullpen. Starting staff already good. It just needed a stronger pen, and they got it. Doesn't really look like an 89 mile an hour fastball. Four seam up in the zone, 89, but maybe it's that sneaky factor.
Suzuki reaches for it, stays alive. A's have tied it here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shallow right field, but Murphy's going to get there. He's got it side retired. A run, RBI ground out for Sizemore, and we're tied at 3, headed to the 8th.
Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
We're going to tie game 3-3. It's the top of the 8th inning from the Coliseum. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Grant Balfour comes in. So a quick turnaround for Balfour after the tough outing last night. He's right back in there today, and that's exactly what he wanted.
He might have been begging the skipper last night after the game was over, get me back in there as fast as possible.
Adam Rosales is in the game now at first base.
Whew. What music, man, when Balfour comes in. That is different random music.
Something like that.
Did we ever figure out what it's called?
I got a couple words for it. Young, Beltre, and Murphy for Texas. Mike Young rolls it right between the legs of Beltre in the on-deck circle.
Well, this is a tough part of the lineup. Last night it was the top of the order with a 2-1 lead. Balfour had to face KINSLER, ANDRUS, Hamilton. 2 of those 3 were successful.
Mike Young's having a terrific series. 7 for 12. So his average now at 336. Breaking ball on 1-2, and he fouls it back.
You pointed out in this series the fewest number of strikeouts for the Rangers.
Yeah.
And I think that's an example right there. We've seen Josh Hamilton do it very well. Michael Young's slider looked like a pitch that might be swinging and missing, or at least putting on play weakly, but fouled it, got another chance.
Well, in this series, perfect example, they have struck out 10 times total. The A's, on the other hand, have struck out 25 times.
7 today. And that was one pitcher.
De Jesus right there. He's got it. So Michael Young is retired. That's Mike Adams starting to throw. Beltre is 1 for 3. He had an RBI double in the second inning. He also scored in that inning.
First two batters, first pitch sliders, and so not challenging with his good fastball. The first pitch to two guys that could leave the yard. Young, yes, but especially Beltre.
0-2 to Beltre.
Kinsler, 3-2 fastball just over the yellow line downtown scoreboard, and then the rocket. Fastball down and in, maybe off the plate. A one-handed swing by Josh Hamilton. It's the difference in the game, 3-2.
Pennington to his left. Throws out Beltre, 2 outs. So Murphy will hit.
Now batting, number 7, David Murphy.
Murphy knocked in a run in the 6th inning with a 2-out single. Strike down around the knees. Willingham going back, and he makes the catch right on the warning track. About for a 3-up, 3-down inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It'll be Sogard, Weeks, and Crisp. Toyota dealers. This was the bottom of the first inning. Weeks just gets in. A's get a run on the Willingham double. And then second inning, Beltre with that RBI double that scored Michael Young. Cruz had a sacrifice fly. Jamal Weeks in the sixth inning, his first major league home run. And the A's would tie the game in the bottom of the seventh inning. 3-10-0 for Texas, 3-4-0 for the A's. So the Rangers go back to the bullpen. It's their third reliever in the game. When it's time for a change, think speedy oil change and tune-up. Your oil change, tune-up, and spa experts. Mike Adams comes in.
Well, he's also throwing to a new catcher, and Mike Napoli, and have to wonder if the foul ball that Toriyama took off his mask has contributed to his departure. Napoli, of course, brought in a powerful hitter, but he's scheduled to hit second in the ninth inning. And we hope if that is the case for Toriyama, that everything is okay.
Sogard off the plate, rolls foul. So Sogard, Weeks, and Crisp for the A's here against Mike Adams. Adams pitched last night. There's Toriyama. So he is in the dugout.
But if the stadium's spinning, that's not good.
No, that is not good.
And he took a blow to his mask with a foul ball.
Two pitch runs inside. Adams threw 17 pitches last night. Bailey throwing for the A's. Bullpen. Right at Kinsler, who takes care of it. Sogard is retired. So one out here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Visit Facebook.com/baseball Paul and vote for Bill King, who broadcast A's games for 25 seasons. We want Bill to be this year's recipient of the Ford C. Frick Award. The top 3 fan selections from votes tallied at the site will appear on the final 10-name ballot for the award. Voting concludes on September 30th. Top of the order, and Jamal Weeks, who's had a very good day, singled and scored in the first, walked in the third, and hit his first major league home run in the sixth. So the average over 300. He's at 301.
Well, Mike Selleck just confirmed from the Rangers clubhouse that Toriyama did leave because of a headache. And understandable. Result of the foul ball off his mask.
Good pitch there in for a strike. 1-1.
Nice way to finish A's home schedule. Coliseum with a nice win. Boom Boom Bailey getting loose for the ninth inning. Be nice to bring him in a save opportunity.
There's the Adams fastball, 1-2. His home run in the sixth inning. Kind of down the line, but pretty well back into the seats. This one's lined left center field. That's going to get down. It's going to go to the wall. Here comes Weeks. He's going to head to second. He'll stop there with a double.
That's better than the home run. Home run was great. Pulled the A's to within 1 run, and then they tied it. But for Jamal Weeks, slicing the 2-strike pitch in the left center. And actually, the outfield of the Rangers playing a little bit deep to keep Jamal from going for 3. But a great swing, stayed inside the pitch and drove it very hard to left center. And then watch him run, had to shut it down at second base. But a perfect line drive to left center for 1-out double. The A's will try to score him and take the lead.
Elvis Andrus playing right behind Weeks at second base, trying to hold him on. In the dirt, blocked by Napoli. Coco Crisp is 0 for 3 in the game. He's 1 for 11 in the series. Now Adams is ready. 1-0 the count to Crisp. Another nice block by Napoli. This one, a backhand. He didn't even have time to get his body in front of it.
And a big one, too, because that's what put Jamal Weeks at third base. So backhand, sometimes you have to become an infielder, and that's exactly what Napoli did. Coming in, sitting the first 7 innings, and he's already blocked a couple in his first half inning here in the 8th.
Pitch. Coco takes it, and it's a strike. 2-1.
It's a cut fastball that really looked like a changeup, but at 88, the movement just barely to the outside part of the plate. It's a good pitch not to swing up unless he's going to try to hit the left field as Andrus continues to shadow Jamal Weeks at second. So you can see the shadow.
Yes, he is. Not close. 3-1. Matsui waits in the on-deck circle. After Matsui, it would be Willingham.
And it is the inning for Adams, and nobody loosening in the bullpen. Adams, the 8th inning pitcher. Feliz, the 9th.
Into right field, a base hit. Here comes Jamal Weeks. Here comes the throw. Not in time. A's lead. Everybody's safe.
Oh, thing of beauty. Great to get these fans on their feet, and Jamal Weeks, strong throw by Murphy, but he overthrew the cutoff man. So Coco with an outstanding hit, driving it past the diving first baseman, and excellent running by Jamal Weeks on the move immediately. Young couldn't get it, and here's a strong throw, but airmailed, and Mike Napoli tried to get Coco at second. He could not, so another runner in scoring position. Let it go. You got to trot the last time. This time he has to run hard. So Jamal Weeks scoring 2. Make it 3 now, as he has driven himself in 1 time, scored 2 others being driven in. So the heart of Boom Boom Bailey started pumping a little faster. You'd like to know that with the closer, hoping for the run. Once it happens, then everything else starts again.
Matsui takes outside.
Mike Gallego, nothing to lose, everything to gain, and especially you don't want to hold up a guy and expect another hit. And Jamal Weeks, no slide necessary, but doing it just in case. As a throw way offline and too high. Napoli trying to get Crisp at second. He could not get him.
Coco dancing a little bit at second base. And he takes off. Strike called. Throw is not in time. Coco steals third. So even with Elvis Andrus really standing right behind Coco Crisp, and Adams well aware of Coco Crisp, he still steals it.
And Mike Napoli from his knees did not even come up through. Good throw, bounce, but Adrian Beltre just trying to do his job. Not much of a chance, and he did more than anything just to keep the ball from going past him. Made the quick tag on the scoop, but the hand of Coco Crisp already on the bag, and now the infield will come in, unlike the seventh inning in which the A's tied the game with the infield back.
1-1 to Matsui. Strike called, down and away. It's 1-2.
Coco 1-2, kept inching off, and as soon as he made sure Adams threw to the plate, he was gone.
Fastball, Matsui stays alive. So Bailey loosening. It'll be Cruz, Napoli, and Gentry. Those are the three scheduled hitters in the top of the ninth.
66% for Hideki Matsui. He's about 9 percentage points above the average of 57, which is still hard to believe.
Well, I'm starting to believe it more.
I agree, unfortunately. But today the A's got the runner in. Sizemore got one in from third base. Hideki trying to make it 2 for 2.
Not that time, as Matsui strikes out for the third time.
Well, that's a big one, but same pitch that Colby Lewis threw so effectively today, and that was the hard slider to the lefty down and in. And Mike Adams, the same pitch, maybe more of a cutter, but still the break. And Matsui, who is usually very good in these situations, could not come through.
So here's Willingham. Field goes back with 2 outs. First pitch in for a strike to Willingham, who was 1 for 3 with that RBI double way back in the first inning. Big day for that young man, Jamal Weeks. 3 for 3. Single, double, and a homer. Kinsler out, Gentry in, and it's going to be Gentry who makes the catch. Side retired. A's going to run Coco Crisp with the RBI single that scores Jamal Weeks. So the A's take the lead, and we're headed to the 9th inning. 4-3 A's. Ninth inning, Andrew Bailey on as he tries to save it. He'll face Cruz, Napoli, Gentry. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. So 20 for 22 in save opportunities for Bailey this year. So the A's with single runs in the first and then in the 6th, 7th, and 8th to take the 4-3 lead. And that is the hero today, Jemile Weeks. 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Left field, off the end of the bat, Willingham fighting the sun again, and he makes the catch. Hang in there, Josh. It's almost over.
Well, I tell you, it was almost a tie. Fortunately, that little cut fastball ended up on the end of the bat of Nelson Cruz instead of that sweet part. And Josh Willingham able to find it, and boy, he's comfortable there. I'd say came out of the sun, coming down, and he's under it. Piece of cake.
So 1 out, and here's Napoli, another dangerous hitter. He's got 26 home runs. First pitch is high.
One thing about Napoli, and I've been thrown out at second trying to stretch a ball off the wall into a double. Napoli swings hard.
Pennington long ways to his left. Throws in time, 2 outs. He was shaded toward the hole, so he had to go quite a ways, but he had time with Napoli, who is not terribly fast.
I mean, Chavez hitting for Gentry, unless he was already in there. I don't think he was in. No. Didn't think I saw him go in defensively. So Ron Washington going to the lefty. Gentry or Chavez for Gentry. I think Jemile Weeks wanted to go over to shortstop and field that last ball. He was all over
doing everything else.
That's
today.
right.
First pitch is just a bit high.
Trevor Cahill today several times got the first 2 outs and then put a couple of runners on. Grant Balfour, a great recovery from last night, getting a 1-2-3 8th inning. Craig Breslow with a huge out, getting Josh Hamilton with a couple of runners on in the 7th inning, and Boone trying to complete it in the 9th.
Well, now he's ahead in the count, 1-2 to Endy Chavez.
It's not a big crowd, but over 14,000 excited right now in the season finale here at the Coliseum.
Endy Chavez again fouls it back. Up around the eyes of Chavez. He fouls it down the left field line. Count remains 1-2.
I think Chavez is the belief of your pinch hitter. You swing at everything. Because 2 pitches up over his head. Bob Melvin pacing.
Swing and a miss. The bat goes flying. So the A's come back and they do it nicely, and they win the game by a final score of 4-3. So the final home game of the season comes to an end, and it's a victory for the Athletics. 4-3 is your final. So the A's finish the home schedule with a 43-38 record. So some late inning heroics. Coco Chris knocks in the go-ahead run. So the A's will get on the plane, head to Anaheim. 6 more road games left for this season, but it's nice to win the final home game of the season. And not only did the A's win it, but they beat the first place Rangers and they did it with some late inning heroics, which is always fun. Jamal Weeks, a terrific afternoon. We're going to talk to Jamal in just a moment. So Weeks, big hits. Coco Crisp, big hits. And Grant Balfour, after the struggles last night, he ended up just the win. And
well, if you look at Breslow getting the Hamilton out, and then the next 6 retired by Balfour and Bailey, and there's no doubt when you have a game in which Balfour had last night, you can't wait to get back in the lineup. And whether it was last night or today, sure, Bob Melvin's thinking get a chance to get Balfour back out there. He's got the pitches. Unfortunately, last night he gave up the 2 runs, but today it was perfect 1, 2, 3, and the A's did it exactly the way they hope the formula in the future is going to be and has been with the success this season, and that is 8th and 9th, Balfour and Bailey.
Having Jamal Weeks at the top of the order. He is standing by downstairs.
What are you going to ask him first?
I'm going to ask him about the home run.
That's
you think that's a good idea? All right. Jamal, let's talk about the home run. And before we show the highlight, I got to ask you, was not having a home run yet bothering you at all?
I would say in the beginning, I guess, you know, once I got about 30, 40 games under my belt, I started realizing it. But at this point, I was pretty much like, if I don't get one, I don't get one. But I'm still going to go up there and try to have good at-bats and drive the ball however I can.
You know, the one thing about Colby Lewis today, he's throwing that hard slider down and in. A lot of guys swinging over the pitch. You seem to have gotten one up a little bit. Talk about that, the feeling of it, and especially to be able to trot around the bases instead of sprint the way you have all season.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that's what they were going to. You know, they were trying to get strike one just for show with the fastball, and coming with the off speed, that was against almost everybody. And I just kind of had a little bit of an approach against them that I thought might work, and I ran with it. You know, I kept everything calm, and that's what came out of it.
And that's our Fremont Bank play of the game. What's it like? And, you know, we were talking, hoping your big brother, Ricky, you got the silent treatment in the dugout. But what was it like? You know, you run hard, you have great wheels, you can fly. What was it like just to kind of shut it down, knowing you didn't have to run hard?
I mean, it was a little different from being up here and not having one. Obviously, it's been a while since I got one, so it was a little bit different. You know, I had to tone myself down. But, I mean, I've done it in the past, so I tried to remember what it was feeling like. So I just ran with my remembering ideas of the old home runs I used to hit.
Well, Jamal, the home run was great, but I think you're at bat in the 8th inning when you got the double, eventually the go-ahead run. But that at-bat may have been just as impressive. Adams, great cutter, and it looked like you just stayed in there. Nice little inside-out swing. Take us through that at-bat and maybe your scouting report against Mike Adams.
Yeah, well, I know him. You know, yesterday he came in and he gave me a tough at-bat. Got me with the strikeout, and I know he likes to use that cutter a lot. And it breaks really well, so you got to kind of see him out over the plate. And I was just trying not to do too much, you know, even though I hit the home run at-bat before. I knew that you had to go up there with the same approach, you know, and I was trying to look up the middle other way. And he gave me a pitch that I could, you know, pretty much put up the middle, and I drove it to the left center gap.
Jamal, you came up the early part of June. You've had a lot of success this season. We talked about the number of hits for you in your rookie season, missing the 2 months. As you stand there on this field, your last home game of your first Major League season, what goes through your mind about not only this season, but the future of yourself and this ball club here in Oakland?
I just look at it as something that we can improve on, man. I just feel like, you know, things started off rough in the beginning, but I think if we carried over what we've been doing the second half, just with a few tweaks, man, we're a different team. And I'm anxious about next season, and I'm anxious about getting out here and possibly doing something like what these guys are shooting for right now, playoff contending team and going out here trying to do something big.
Jamal, you've been terrific all season. Keep up the good work. Finish strong. 6 more road games.
All right, thank you.
All right, so a big afternoon for Jamal Weeks. And, you know, the home run was great, but we saw him run the bases, scoring early in the game on the Willingham double, scoring the go-ahead run. But, boy, all the talk the last couple of days raised about Bob Melvin and the future, knowing he's going to be the manager. But how about knowing that Jamal Weeks is going to be your leadoff hitter for the next 5 or 6 years for sure?
Well, and the A's knew, obviously, whenever he came up in June. It's unfortunate for Mark Ellis, but he's at a better place, maybe playing more in Colorado. But I think the biggest thing, Jamal Weeks knows his game. He hit the home run, but as you described perfectly, his next at bat, inside-out swing to left center, knowing that his speed, his wheels, legs can help this ball club win a lot of games. He's going to get better and better, and when he shows up in spring training next season, you're going to see a much different player defensively. And, oh, by the way, the Angels in Toronto, I think when they saw that score posted, they're a little excited right now before they play the Blue Jays.
Indeed. So the home schedule comes to an end, Ray. 43-38 is the final record. Obviously, not as many wins as you'd like at home, but I think if you're an A's fan, you can look to people like Weeks and Pennington And when you look ahead, yeah, there are some uncertainties about who's going to come back. But right now, you think about who you know is going to be here. And up the middle is pretty strong.
And the biggest thing, they beat the Rangers in the final home game of the season. The team that they've struggled against all season, they beat them this afternoon in a one-run game, a great victory.
And indeed, the A's with the 3 in Anaheim, which are still meaningful for the Angels. So I think it's very important that the A's and their young players continue to play meaningful games.
Absolutely. I think they will.
And they will do that in Anaheim and then 3 in Seattle, and that'll wrap up this 2011 season. Once again, the final score, final home game of the year here at the Coliseum. The A's beat the Texas Rangers by a final score of 4-3. Now remember, if you missed the game or you want to watch it again, go to Comcast Channel 1 and select Sports and Fitness, and then select Comcast Sportsnet California for A's on demand. Tune in tomorrow. It'll be game 1 of the series from Anaheim, 6:30 A's pregame live. The ball game at 7. It's the A's and the Angels. For my broadcast partner Ray Fossey, our producer Delaire Lewers, and director Tom Anza, I'm Glenn Kuiper saying so long from Oakland. Final score, the A's 4, Angels 3.